Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're here again for Jackocar highlights and we are here for Monaco at night, going straight into our qualifying lap here, one lap over an 18-minute session, and we're going to be going straight into turn one now. Obviously my aim again for as always with Jackocar is to just get a lap on the board and sort of watching other people. There was a few wing breaks, a few punctures, stuff like that in validation, so with it being Monaco I was just sort of like screwed on the idea of I need to get a lap in no matter if it's quick or not, because then at least I'm not going to be right at the back. So yeah, it wasn't exactly the fastest lap as always in Jackocar. It was just sort of a consistent tidy lap. So yeah, we're already going down to the tunnel on this lap. We were looking for a high 8 low 9. They were sort of the times that I was doing in practice before. So yeah, that was sort of like what I knew that I could do. I reckon pole would have been mid to low 8. So yeah, a low 9, high 8 was sort of what I was aiming for as we come through the final section of the track. My favourite bit of the track as well is, yeah, you got to be on edge through there. You can cut a lot of that chicane as well coming out of the swimming pool. But yeah, we're going to the final corner now, trying to nail that apex, looking for the cone on the right hand side, get on the DRS all the way up to the line, and we have done a 109.1. So that was yeah, that was a solid lap. We ended up being 5 tenths off pole, but either way I was really happy with how that qualifying session went. No invalidation. So we now jump straight over to the start of the race, obviously starting on the soft tyres, 39 laps around Monaco at night. The lights go out and we get a decent start. We're just going to try and cover off Arnaud when the barrier comes out on the outside, and we managed to stay ahead of him. Focus sort of now switches towards Khalifa and Janel up ahead, who are going side by side up towards the casino square, and we're just going to try and benefit off anything that happens there. But we instantly get a virtual safety car. I was very surprised it went a full safety car, to be honest. But yeah, we managed to get through without any damage on the first lap, which is always a bonus. But we move on now to the end of that virtual safety car. We've just gone green, still on lap 1, coming through to the final sector, and you can see Janel and Khalifa actually got a decent jump on me into the virtual safety car. I'm not really too sure why, but we're going to take one of our 2 mandatory stops straight away just to get it out of the way, and now we can do 2 medium runs to the end if all goes to plan. And if there's a safety car now as well, we benefit massively off it. We basically get a pit stop on the guys ahead. Obviously we've still got to be looking out for those jokers. There's 2 jokers, so yeah, they're essentially still that pit stop ahead of us. But yeah, we come out of the pits now. We're still in P10, so there was quite a few, well, P11 now, quite a few incidents on that first lap. There was someone stopped in the tunnel for quite a while. I'm not too sure why, but we've got Jamie up ahead, Kieran behind, and now we're basically just going to try and catch up with the field. So yeah, the best thing for us now really was a safety car, because obviously with Jackocar's rules you can't fit into the safety car, so all the guys ahead then would be stuck not being able to do one of their 2 stops, and I would have gained that pit stop on them. But so far we haven't got it. I've been pushing quite hard as well in the last 2 laps. We managed to just pick up the fastest lap, and we managed to hold on to that for quite a while, which was surprising. I was expecting some of the other guys to go a lot faster. But we now come up to the back of Jordan, who's picked up wing damage, so he's going to be coming into the pit lane. So that's another driver sort of out of the way, so we're not going to be catching any of those guys. The main concern really was catching the medium runners, because they'd be going quite far. As you can see, we've already got up to P8, P7 now, as we are now up to the back of Paul, who is our teammate, a Pista Corsa teammate. So I was sort of hoping he'd let me through, and coming out of the chicane he does do that, so that's then another one out of the way. So we're sort of carving our way through the traffic quite nicely, better than what I expected to do. But we've now got Red Matt up ahead, 2.6 seconds to close in. He has already a 3-second time penalty, so that's obviously useful towards the end of the race, not really useful now, as we're now right up behind him on lap 8. 2 tenths is the gap, and then in front as well we're catching up with TC. We've got Janel just behind us as well. He's very quick, top tier 1 hub pace. So yeah, I was more at this point I think focusing that he wasn't going to try and send it on me, but Red Matt up ahead has wing damage, so I was sort of hoping now, okay, please come into the pit lane, because if not I'm going to have Janel trying to make a move somewhere. And we come round the final few corners and he's not going to pit. TC does, which was useful because that's another one out of the way. But yeah, Red Matt's decided to go for another lap, and this is sort of where I was figuring out that he was actually a joker driver. So basically what that means is he's only having to do 1 stop compared to everyone else doing 2, but he gets a massive slide out of turn 1, We have a little look, and then Janel comes out of absolutely nowhere, going into the casino square now. This is all for position, because we need to pass Red Mat, so we're going to try and go around the outside and get squeezed. I don't want to get put into the outside wall. We're now side by side with Janel as well. We're going to try and break deep, try and get away from him, but then he cuts back on the inside, and now we're side by side around the hairpin, which just never ends well. I have to sort of spin up the rears to get the car around the corner. He's got the inside for the next. We just get squeezed into the wall, and that's our wing ripped off. We have been sent to the shadow round. So this now has completely changed our strategy, so we now need to pit. But I don't want to be making 2 more stops, so I'm going to change to the hards. As you can see up ahead, still that battle going on as we sort of get left behind now. Janel trying to make that move on Red Mat. He possibly already knew that he was a joker, hence why he went so aggressive. And we had the contact with him. So as you can see, Jeff suggested the hard tyres to the end. I thought about the mediums getting to the end, but I just purely didn't want to risk it being sim damage, getting a puncture, and yeah, I felt like the hards were going to just be a better tyre to go on, they'd last longer. As you can see, Red Mat now, a lap later, has come into the pits. So yeah, without him going that extra lap, I think I could have possibly kept my front wing, but ultimately it doesn't really matter now. We've got the wing damage, we just need to continue on from where we are. Our race now essentially is with Red Mat, because that is 4th position. He's made his one and only stop. I've made 2. So we're going to be right behind him for the majority of this race now, trying to just stick with him as he's already got a 3-second time penalty. So we move on to lap 15. As you can see, we're still behind Red Mat. We've actually picked up a time penalty, but crucially he's picked up another as we have a safety car. I'm not too sure what this was for. I never really seen anything on the track, but we move on to the end of that safety car period, which was actually really beneficial for us. It sort of brought us back into the game. Obviously we lost some time changing the wing and obviously just being on hard tyres. So we're going to see quite a few people pull it into the pit lane now, purely just to serve another one of their pit stops, with it being a 2-stop mandatory, and we're now going to get our way through to P4. So we're a net P3, obviously with the penalties. We've got Paul behind. We just basically need to keep within Red Mat's 3 seconds and keep a 3-second gap behind us, and we should be solid for a P3. So we move now all the way to lap 30, again on to 31, and Janel has come in for a pit stop. I think this was because he got damaged. Khalifa and him were fighting quite hard. And yeah, I believe there was a bit of wing damage at turn 1, so we've managed to pick up that place. But already, just a few laps later, you can see on the leaderboard on the top left, he's right behind us. Purely, I think he's obviously quicker. He was on fresh softs, we were on old hards, and he's just managed to get that gap right down. And coming into these final few laps, really, he could just sit behind and just wait, or, which is probably more what you want to do, actually get the position. So he's going to be coming through trying to fight, but really, if I can, I'm going to try and force him into a mistake, because I could get a P2 out of this with Red Mat's penalty, and if he just drops below that 3-second window, then we're in for a P2 and he'll slot in P3. So yeah, I'm going to defend this as if it is for genuine position, even with that penalty that I've got compared to him not having one. So we've only actually got a handful of laps left. As you can see, he's already sort of looking for a place to make a move, and he does actually tap the back end of us there. I would have thought he would have got a bit of wing damage from that, so that was already sort of got him into one mistake. So I was just going to see if I could pull a gap here, and yeah, we got 4 attempts, but he's right on the back of us still anyway. We've got the DRS from Red Mat still up ahead, so down the straight we should be okay. We've got quite a lot of fuel that we've saved up as well to play with, so we're just going to just try and keep safe on the straight, make sure he doesn't make a move into turn 1, because ultimately I do still want to finish the race. I'd rather finish in 3rd than get taken out. But we get the run up towards the casino square again. We're still trying to just burn all that fuel that we've got. I didn't actually realise in the race how much I saved starting. I think I started 2 below how much we needed, but with the safety cars and just ultimately getting stuck behind others, I managed to save quite a lot up. So I could have underfueled the car probably by another lap and I would have just about got there. But Red Mat now really slow in front of us. He's most likely thinking he could back me up into Janel, see if we could start a battle, and then obviously he could try and pull away. But now we run up towards the chicane through the tunnel. He's really close behind, probably got a lot more battery to play with this. He's going to go down the inside. I brake really late. I was concerned I was going to go into the back of Red Mat, and we're just managing to keep that position. He filters in behind, run up to back. Obviously there's no overtaking here, and he's actually tapped the wall behind, so I think he has now got quite a lot of wing damage. So yeah, he's already dropped to second. So I just need another 2 seconds on him. He's going to fall in behind with Jamie, who also at the minute is within my penalty window, but he's got one himself. So yeah, I was just sort of looking now, see if they could start a fight. And as you can see, going on to the final lap, we've dropped him all the way down to 2.7. So I just need another 3 tenths on him, which we should quite easily get, unless of course Red Mat backs us off. But yeah, it was a solid race so far, really. Even though we got that wing damage, if anything, it wasn't too bad. Obviously, with the safety car coming, that sort of brought us back into the race. As you see, Red Mat really slow through the hairpin, probably just trying to get his tyres to the end now. But it did sort of figure it out around. I did sort of figure it out around this point that it was Khalifa and Red Mat on the Joker. Obviously, Khalifa having 20 seconds on us. He was, yeah, one of the Jokers, and then Red Mat, the car ahead, also on the Joker. So on track, it was a Joker 1-2, but yeah, penalty wise, it was a Joker 1-3. I just managed to slot in between them. So yeah, Khalifa managed to win the race, poles to the win. Nice solid drive from him. And we're going to come through for the final time for the final few corners. We've dropped Janel now all the way down to 5 seconds. They were having a crazy battle behind, so yeah, we just managed to run away. We managed to bag ourselves a few more playoff points in P2. Quite a drive really overall. There wasn't really much going on. Like I said, our race was with Red Mat for the majority of that, and we just had to keep our nose clean after obviously the wing damage, make sure we didn't have to make any more stops, and yeah, that was a decent race. So we move next week, well this week as this video is coming out, to Monza for throwback week. So that's basically you have to try and design a classic, it can be F1 or just motorsport in general livery, to race around Monza. So I'll be putting that video up at some point, hopefully not as late as what this one has been, but if you do enjoy these sort of videos, let me know, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.